Welcome back to the NLHA video channel, where today we will be looking at another interesting question that came to the office this week. Basically, a client slipped and injured himself in a private parking lot of a shopping center, and the client now wants to know whether the owners of either the shopping center or the property can be held liable for the injuries that he sustained. So we will take a look at that. Okay, so this is something that's quite common in South Africa. I think more common than what we might imagine. So and we refer to it as the typical slip and fall cases. What we will be looking at is whether you have a claim against the owner of property where you sustained injury based on the slip and fall principle. We call it slip and fall cases. However, it is basically a personal injury case or personal injury claim, and it is an occurrence that we see mainly in like shopping malls, retail chain stores, that type of environment. Do you have a case where you injure yourself on the property of another entity, like a retailer or a shopping mall or a shopping center? Maybe. That's the short answer. First of all, the law requires the owners to implement strict health and safety protocols on the properties. They must implement steps and procedures to protect their patrons and the visitors to those properties. For example, wet floors. So we've all seen where you go into a shopping center and they're busy mopping the floors or cleaning the floors. We can't prohibit them from doing that. However, they must make sure that we as the patrons are protected when they do perform that duty of, for example, washing floors. So they would, for example, cordon off the area, or they would put up signs to say that the surface is slippery and wet. Another example that I can use is proper lighting. There's poor lighting and you injure yourself because of the fact that it was a bit too dark. You might have a personal injury claim against the owner. Another one is staircases. The staircases must be secured. There must be railings, maybe anti-slip strips on it. So the owner needs to ensure that the necessary steps are taken to protect and safeguard. So if in such a case you do injure yourself, then the property owner or the store owner might be held liable for the injuries that you have sustained through a personal injury claim. Now, what is taken into consideration when you review whether you have a claim against the property owner or the store owner? First of all, negligence plays a big role. So, was negligence of the owner the cause for your injury? There's a lot of focus placed on negligence. The other one is if there were warnings and signs, did the person or the claimant ignore those signs and warnings? That's also important because it would take away the negligence on the part of the owner and places it squarely on the claimant. And as always in these types of cases, that I advise to take pictures, make videos of the area where it happened, the surrounding area. If there's any witnesses, take down the witnesses' details, and make sure that you document as much as possible. Seek medical attention as soon as possible. And then also, very important, do not discuss your case or the incident with anyone outside of just those that need to know. For example, your legal representative. Tips for the owners of property and stores. Obviously, the number one tip is that you must know your health and safety regulations pertaining to your specific industry. Know the health and safety regulations and make sure that you implement those health and safety regulations and requirements. Things like make sure slippery floors are clean, put up signs, even if it's temporary signs, cordon off areas that you are working on. Lighting is very, very important. And in general, just maintain property. You don't want a R1 million claim just because of a broken towel that would have cost you 200 Rand to fix. Okay, so maintain your property. The personal injury claim does not relate only to the physical slipping and falling. It extends to other areas or other incidents as well. For example, a ceiling that comes down and people are injured. There are fires that we can think of, falling objects, broken tiles, floors, etc. So it extends to more than just physically slipping and falling and being injured. So just to recap, the claimant must obviously prove that the owner was negligent, and the negligence of the owner contributed to the injury. And then also, owners must take the reasonable precaution to basically try and avoid such claims. To have a claim of R1 million against you for a 200 Rand fix, it's not worth it. That is, in a nutshell, what basically covers slip and fall cases or personal injury claims. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and we look forward to the next week and the interesting questions that may come in. If there's any questions that you have that you want answered, send them in. The information is in the description below, and maybe you're lucky and we pick your question as the interesting question for the week.